This is Dirshu Mishnah Berurah as we continue Simin Lamed Beis, and today we're going to be learning Sif Lamed Gimel through Lamed Vav. And the Mechaber in Sif Lamed Gimel begins, Ya'aseh. Let's just get this highlighting up and running. Oh, we're almost there. There we go. Ya'aseh, says the Mechaber as we turn over the page over here, Hashurois Shavais. You have to make the lines equal, says the Mechaber. What does that mean? You should not have one line going in and one line going out. And this is referring particularly on the sides of your cloth. So it's not referring to the straightness of the writing, but rather that you don't want to go beyond the margins on your right and left side of the paper. And at least you saw here, that you cannot write Shaloish oisiyos, 3 letters, chutz lashita, 3 letters outside of the line. Vim ksavam, and if you did, loy puzzle, it does not puzzle. So we're seeing very clearly that this is a din lechatchila. But if it happens, it does not puzzle up that which you wrote. So it says the Mechaber in Sivkot and Kuf Mem Zayin v'achas yoitzis. V'afilu ois achas, even one letter. And that's really the headline of this entire sif over here that we're dealing with, is a hider, a beautification of the ksav, of that which you're writing. You want it to look perfect and beautiful. You don't want it to exit or enter outside of the margins. Shalosh oisius midoloi chilik, from the fact that the Mechaber did not differentiate. Mashma, it sounds like that even if these 3 letters, hey, the minority of a word, still usher, it should not be done. We paskin like the Rambam, that we're not makbid. So now we get both sides of the coin, that the Rambam says that it's a din, it's a halacha of the majority of a word, whereas over here, in our Chaim and Siman Lamed Beis, the Mechaber is teaching us it's a din in 3 letters, irregardless as to the size of the word. Let's say the word has 8 letters. You're allowed to write half of it outside of the line, according to the Rambam, according to Shulchan Aruch in Reish Ayin Gimel, which is not that which we were passing over here. You should be machmer like our sheet over here, 3 letters. So the Mishnah Berurah over here is concluding with a bit of a pshara, that the Rabbah says that davka by Tefilin, one should be more careful due to the fact that the margins are very narrow. Vim ksavam, says Mishnah Berurah Sivkot and Kuf Mem Tas, bein shaya abelita betchilas hashita oy b'seifta, whether that which is protruding, whether the extra letters are at the beginning of the word or not. Loy pasal. You wrote a complete word, still it does not passel. As long as it's recognizable that it's written with that line, and not with that which is afterwards over there. Continues the Mechaber in Sif Lamed Dalet. If we have 2 letters, which is one word, so now we're going even more stringent. The previous Sif taught us that you have up to 3 letters. Now says the Mechaber, if it's a complete word, even 2 letters you should not write outside of the line. And says the Mishnah Berurah, and let's say the word has 3 letters, you're allowed to write 2 letters, as we just explained in the previous Sif, and Gimel, Vayin Bebir Halacha. Continues, and then we're going to conclude with his final Sif for today, Sif Lamed Hey. Ois Hashem, of course, the letters of Hashem are always more machmir. Sarech she'ekulam b'toich hadaf. They all have to be within the margins. And no part of the Shem Hashem is that to leave the margins. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sivkot and Kuf Nun Beis. Ois Hashem. Even other words, even other names which are not erasable. Sarach. Esek the davka lechatchila. Even this halacha of the Shema Hashem is only din lechatchila. Avol, however, b'di'eved ein lahachmir. Umikol makayim. Says the Mishnah Berurah. Im ira came be sefer Torah. We're discussing tefillin, but let's say this happened in a sefer Torah. Hayra, what's the psak? Limchay kol ashurais al yainais. Should erase all the upper lines. Im ein b'hem shom shame mishem oshin imchakim. Unless it has, if it does not have a shame, should be erased. But limshach aisam sheishavayisam Hashem, and then you should erase it so it should be equal with the Shem Hashem. Demeach or davshalatakune or mikri diavad, and that's a very big poignant line in the Mishnah Berurah over here throwing in that whenever something can be fixed, it's not called b'diavad. B'diavad by definition means b'diavad. It's done. It's finished. So is it mutter, is it aser? But over here, there's a way to finish it. It's not called b'diavad. Avol, says Mishnah Berurah, and my Yasham the Male is a shame. Let's say above it, it has the Shem Hashem, and therefore what? You cannot erase it. As we've learned many times, you not let erase, because then it's going to be out of order. Kosher, kach, balitik, and then it's kosher. Says Mishnah Berurah over here, quoting the Beis Shmuel, some are machmirim b'diavad of hiskin iman. I coin of kiveger derechayim. Many machmirin. Ach, bashur zal yonis oisa acharon beis dalit reish uchadayim. Let's say in the upper lines, the last letter is a beis dalit and reish, and those are letters as we've seen many times. Shiachal and mashchan. They can be extended. The roof and the floor of the beis and the roof of the dalit and the roof of the reish. Kulu moida debein b'sefer Torah. Obein b'tefillin mezuzos. Yem shachayisam. You should extend the top. Why? Kadei sheishavayis emais me Hashem. So it's equal to the name of Hashem. Shiatz chutz lashita. Vein b'zem misham lo kesidron. And as we've seen many times, it's not a chesarnish like a sidron because it was already kosher. Just making it perfect and beautiful with the extension. V'chein emloi kasav oid rak shura achas. Let's say you only wrote one line. Ubeshura shniya mashach Hashem chutz lashita. And the second line, the Shem Hashem went outside the line. Yases yirtutim acherim yimshachem shiarukim atzeif Hashem. You make it that it should become equal. B'shel shura rishayna ein kipeda. And due to the first line, we are not makbid on it. V'da'oid. And continues and concludes this lengthy Mishnah Berurah over here that those we do not have to be machmir when it is chutz l'shita. Continues the Mishnah Berurah Sivkatan Kof Nun Dalet as we close out today's shir. Mishnah Berurah says that you don't want the Shem Hashem, any of them being outside the daf. Me'em klal afilo isachas, even one letter. The Efshir, says the Mishnah Berurah, Dafim Rubai Kekuloi. Avol Miksas, is less than blah, part of a letter, a little dot, that's not a problem. And let's say the entire shame went outside the margin. Kosher b'diavad. Perhaps a bit counterintuitive, but if it's one letter, that's worse, ironically, than the whole shame. So finally, at the end of today's share, we understand the lamdas, that anything that is outside the line, it's considered as if it's hanging. The mixes that shame ain't toilet. You're not allowed to have part of the shame hanging. Mashenkin bazak, king kasav b'nei yoina. Koiner of kiveger, chadushav simizah, machmer gam bazah, ayin sham. Avol, and we know Avol in the Mishnah Berurah is always a psak. B'bir agra, muchach behedya, kibnei yoina lahakel. That, of course, is the psak halacha with the Eved. We will be makel. And Amir Tashem will pick it up from Sif Lamed Beis in the next shir.